It's really good. What is that? It's really good that we made it on time for class. Shh! Quiet, please.
Hello class. Welcome to this week's filmmaking lesson. Before we start on the first part, I wanted to talk about lovable pets who are starving to death and needed food. That is the sponsor video. So Chakato Anime Kimono Friends 3 episode 3 is coming out today. So we will do it. Okay, let's get on to the first part. The first part is home video releases. Today, we will be doing Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. Here is the plot in this film. Ace Ventura is an eccentric, very unorthodox Miami-based private detective who specializes in retrieving tame or captive animals. He struggles to pay his rent, and is often mocked by the Miami Police Department, led by Lieutenant Lois Einhorn, who finds Ventura insufferable. 2 weeks before the Miami Dolphins are to play in the Super Bowl, their mascot, a bottlenose dolphin named Snowflake, is kidnapped. Melissa Robinson, the Dolphins' chief publicist, hires Ventura to find Snowflake. Searching Snowflake's tank for clues, Ventura finds a rare triangle-cut orange amber stone, which he recognizes as a part of a 1984 AFC Championship ring. Ace suspects billionaire Ronald Camp may have stolen Snowflake, as he is known for collecting exotic animals through less than reputable means and sources. Ventura and Melissa sneak into Camp's party, where Ventura mistakes a shark for Snowflake and is nearly eaten. Camp apologizes and shakes Ventura's hand, revealing on one of his own fingers an amber stone identical to the one Ventura found. Ruling out Camp, as he was not missing the amber stone, Ventura concludes that a member of the 1984 Miami Dolphins lineup may have kidnapped Snowflake, and attempts to identify the culprit by their rings. However, he discovers all of the team members' rings are intact. Roger Podacter, the team's head of operations, mysteriously dies after falling from his apartment balcony. Einhorn declares it a suicide, but Ventura proves that it was murder. He comes across an old photograph of the football team, discovering an unfamiliar player named Ray Finkel, who was only added in during midseason. Finkel missed the field goal kick at the end of Super Bowl 19, which cost the Dolphins the championship, ruining his career. Visiting Finkel's parents, Ventura learns that Finkel fully blames Dan Marino for the end of his career due to Marino allegedly placing the ball incorrectly before the kick, and was subsequently committed to a mental hospital for homicidal tendencies. Marino is kidnapped himself shortly thereafter. Ventura visits Einhorn, pitching his theory that Finkel kidnapped both Marino and Snowflake in an act of revenge, since the Dolphin has been given Finkel's old team number and a gold trick to boot. He also theorizes that Finkel murdered Podacter. Einhorn compliments Ventura and kisses him. Ventura and Melissa go to the mental hospital, the former posing as a potential patient, where he uncovers a newspaper article in Finkel's possessions about a missing hiker named Lois Einhorn. Ventura, with a clue from his dog, realizes that Einhorn is in fact Finkel. Finkel used the fact that the actual Einhorn was missing and presumed dead, with no body found, and took on her identity, had surgery to change his gender, and took advantage of her position in the Miami Police Department to get revenge on Marino and the Dolphins. On Super Bowl Sunday, Ventura follows Einhorn to an abandoned yacht storage facility where she has Marino and Snowflake held hostage. Einhorn calls the police, blaming Ventura with no proof. Melissa and Ventura's friend, police officer Emilio, stage a hostage situation to get the police to listen to Ventura. Ventura strips Einhorn of her clothes to expose her failure to completely change her sex, but fails until Marino points at a bulge in the back of Einhorn's underwear, actually Finkel's unchanged privates hidden out of view. This confirms that Finkel murdered Podacter after the latter had discovered Finkel's secret. Einhorn is arrested by the police after attacking Ventura, and Finkel's ring is identified to have a missing stone. Marino and Snowflake are welcomed back during halftime at the Super Bowl in a match between the Dolphins and the Philadelphia Eagles. Ventura tries to retrieve a valuable albino pigeon, but it is scared off by the Eagles' mascot Swoop, causing Ventura to attack him in retaliation. Alright. So tomorrow, we will be doing Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls. Here is the plot in this film. In the Himalayas, after a failed rescue mission results in a raccoon falling to its death, a parody of Cliffhanger, Ace Ventura has an emotional breakdown and joins a Tibetan monastery. Once he has recovered, he is approached by Fulton Greenwall, a British correspondent working for a provincial consulate in the fictional African country of Namibia. Because Ace is loathed at the monastery, the Grand Abbot gives Ace excuses to justify his departure, and sends him off with Greenwall. Greenwall is subjected to Ventura's eccentric behavior when he starts mimicking different mating calls, and his dangerous driving when they head off to Africa, warning him about the hostility of eastern lowland gorillas as it is mating season. Greenwall wants Ventura to find the great white bat Shikaka, a sacred animal of the Washotie tribe, which disappeared shortly after being offered as dowry of the Washotie princess, who is set to wed the Wakuta prince to form armistice and peace between the two people. After arriving in Namibia and meeting with Consul Vincent Cadby, Ace begins his investigation, but must overcome his intense fear of bats in order to succeed. Accompanied by his capuchin monkey, Spike, Ace begins his search for the missing bat. He eventually befriends the tribe's princess, who tries to seduce Ace. However, Ace admits his oath to celibacy, but quietly masturbates in a hut afterwards. Ace also befriends the tribal prince, Auda, who assists Ace. Ace's investigation involves eliminating obvious suspects, animal traders, poachers, and a safari park owner among others, and enduring the growing escalations of threat between the Washotie and the Wakutu. After being attacked with drugged blow darts, Ace suspects the medicine man of the Wakutu of taking the bat, as he strongly disapproves of the wedding. He travels to the Wakutu tribal village, without translating the chief's words rather poorly. The Wakutu mistake Ace as the White Devil, and have him go through many dangerous and humiliating challenges to gain their trust. He eventually does when his pain makes the chief, entire tribe, and even Auda laugh for the first time in years. Despite this, if the bat is not returned in time, the Wakutu will declare war on the Washotie tribe. As a last joke, Ace is shot in the butt by a non-drugged blow dart by the chief. As he and Auda walk back to the village, Ace realizes the dart he was shot with earlier is not the same as the one he was just shot with, meaning the Wakutu didn't take Shikaka. He eventually finds two Australian poachers with the bat, and he distracts them by mimicking a silverback mating call. Unfortunately, they don't fall for it and shoot the initial darts into him and take him away. After coming to, Ace tries to figure out how the poachers are involved with the war between the tribes. Confused by the case, Ace consults the Grand Abbot via astral projection. Advised by the Abbot, Ace deduces that Cadby has taken the bat and hired Ace to divert suspicion from himself, having planned to let the tribes destroy each other so that he can then take possession of the numerous bat caves containing guano to sell as fertilizer worth billions. When Ace confronts Cadby, he learns he was hired as Cadby's alibi, and is arrested by tribal security chief Tatu. Ace calls an African elephant to escape, and summons herds of jungle animals to destroy Cadby's house. Cadby tries to shoot Ace, but is stopped by Greenwall who punches him in the face. Cadby escapes with the bat in a car, but Ace follows him in a monster truck. Ace destroys Cadby's car, leaving the bat cage lodged in a tree. Ace, despite his chronic fear of bats, bravely yet dramatically returns the bat just as the tribes are about to meet on the battlefield. Cadby, watching nearby, is discovered by Auda. Auda calls him the White Devil to give Ace more time, and Cadby is pursued by both tribes. After escaping, he breathes deeply and heavily, then encounters a female amorous silverback eastern lowland gorilla that mistakes his breathing for a mating call, and he is subsequently raped by the ape. The princess is married to the prince, who is revealed to be the man who humiliated Ace during one of the Wakuta tribal challenges earlier. Moments later, it is discovered that the young bride is no longer a virgin, apparently on Ace's account. Despite this, peace between the once separate tribes is achieved, when everyone joins together and furiously chases after Ace. Alright. On Wednesday, May 1st, we will be doing Miss Bala by Kimono Friends Peach Panther. Here is the plot in this film. Gloria Fuentes is a Latin American makeup artist from Los Angeles who goes on a trip to visit her best friend Suzu in Tijuana, Mexico. When the pair go to a local nightclub, Suzu wants to impress to help her chances in a beauty competition she has entered. When Gloria goes to the bathroom, armed gunmen break in through the vents and attempt to kidnap Gloria out of her stall but ultimately give her time to escape while they attack the building. The next morning, Gloria is unable to get contact from Suzu and decides to ride with a police officer to try to find her. When the officer takes a break, Gloria is taken by members of the Los Estrellas gang, the same men who shot up the club. The gang take her to their headquarters, where Lino, the boss, agrees to help her find her friend if she agrees to work for them. Gloria is reluctant but eventually agrees and is told to get into a car and park it on a corner. Gloria does the job, and when she leaves the car and joins the men at the top of the hill, they blow up the building, revealed to be a DA safe house containing 3 agents. Lino then sends Gloria to the Miss Baja California pageant, where she attempts an escape through the bathroom. Gloria escapes and encounters a DA officer who takes her into custody and eventually lets her go, but not before he puts a tracking device on her since the DA are aiming to monitor Los Estrellas. Gloria returns to the gang and is sent to San Diego with blood money and drugs attached to her car. Upon crossing the border, Gloria is given an arsenal of guns to bring back to Mexico by a gangster named Jimmy, and then told to meet in a large parking lot. Gloria gets to the lot, and the men in Los Estrellas get their weapons. However, the police show up, and Lino runs to seize Gloria but is shot in the leg, and Gloria helps him to safety. The trio head to another safe house, where Gloria meets a woman named Isabella. Isabella herself was threatened into joining Los Estrellas, and bears an infigurative tattoo, meaning she belongs to them. When Gloria hears that they will be checking phones, she transfers the chip the DA gave her to another phone. Unknowingly, she puts it in Isabella's phone, who is killed by Lino for being a suspected mole. Gloria is extremely upset, and the next morning lashes out at Lino. Lino wants to kill the Mexican chief of police, so he sends Gloria to the pageant and bribes the judges so that she will win, since it's rumored the chief sleeps with every winner. Gloria goes to the after party, where she agrees to meet the chief in another bedroom and soon finds Suzu, telling her that everything will be okay. However, when Suzu shows her the tattoo, Gloria quickly realizes that Lino deceived her and that he had known where she was the whole time. In the room with the chief, she writes on a postcard that Lino is going to kill him. The chief quickly escapes outside, and Gloria goes to find Suzu. Gloria is forced to shoot the chief in the leg after he tries to hold Suzu hostage, but then Lino kills him. Gloria points her gun at Lino, confessing she knows that he was aware of Suzu's whereabouts. Lino tries to bargain with Gloria, but she shoots first, killing him. The 2 women are soon arrested, and when Gloria is taken into an interrogation room, she finds Jimmy, the man she had received the weapons from in San Diego, and realizes he is a CIA agent who was infiltrating the gang. Gloria returns Suzu to her family and goes back into the car with Jimmy, driving off to help the CIA. Alright. On Thursday, May 2nd, we will be doing Serenity by Kim and Friends Dodo. Here is the plot in this film. Baker Dill is a fishing boat captain living a quiet and sheltered life on an island off the coast of Florida. He spends his days leading tours off a tranquil, tropical enclave called Plymouth Island and is obsessed with catching Justice, an evasive giant tuna fish. One day, his ex-wife Karen tracks him down with a desperate plea for help. She begs Dill to save her and their young son from her new, violent husband, Frank, offering Dill $10 million to drop her husband into the ocean for the sharks to eat. She tells Dill that Frank will be arriving later in the week and that they have booked Dill for a fishing trip, the perfect opportunity for Dill to drop him overboard. Torn between what is right and wrong, Dill is thrust back into a life he'd tried to forget, as his world is plunged into a new reality that may not be all that it seems. It soon becomes apparent that Dill is a character in a computer game, one designed by his son, Patrick. Dill, whose real name is John Mason, was killed in Iraq in 2006. Patrick had based the character on a memory of his father taking him fishing when he was 3 years old. They didn't catch any fish, which is why Dill isn't able to catch Justice, but when Karen, a widow, remarries. Patrick later introduces his mother and abusive stepfather as new characters in the game, and changes Dill's task from catching tuna to murdering his stepfather. Dill soon begins to realize that he and the other inhabitants of Plymouth Island are merely characters created by his son. Nevertheless, he decides to go along with the objective of killing Frank. As Dill carries out the objective, Patrick summons up the courage to confront Frank in real life and stabs him in the chest with a knife that used to belong to his father. Frank dies and Patrick is charged with murder, but he is released into his mother's custody while awaiting trial. He designs a new computer game in which he and his father are reunited. Alright. On Friday, May 3rd, we will be doing 16 Candles 1984 film. Here is the plot in this film. High school sophomore Samantha Sam Baker struggles to go through the day on her 16th birthday, which her entire family has forgotten about because her older sister, Jenny, is getting married the next day. She is also infatuated with a popular and attractive senior, Jake Ryan. At school, she fares no better when she finds out that a completed sex quiz which she tried to surreptitiously slip to her friend Randy, never reached her and, unbeknownst to either of them, was picked up by Jake. Despite her name not being on the quiz, Sam is still a bit panicked because the quiz contains sensitive information, such as how she is a virgin and is saving herself for Jake. During gym class, Jake opens up to his friend Rock, admitting that he feels like things with his girlfriend Carolyn have become stagnant. He also tells him how he thinks it is cruel that he keeps catching Sam looking at him. Meanwhile, an outgoing geeky freshman named Ted is in love with Sam. On the school bus ride home, he tries to hit on her, only to have her spurn him with some trash talk before she gets off. At home, Sam has a whole new set of problems when she discovers that all four of her grandparents are staying at the Baker home during the wedding. One set of grandparents has brought along a bizarre Chinese foreign exchange student, Long Duk Dong. The grandparents force Sam to take him along to her school's senior dance that night and, to Sam's amazement, it takes the Donger only 5 minutes to find an unlikely girlfriend, the tall, large-breasted jock, Marlene. As the freshmen hang out at the gym, Ted's two best friends Bryce and Cliff watch as Ted crashes and burns after he once again hits on Sam and fails, with an upset Sam running off. Undeterred by this latest rejection, Ted accepts a bet from his friends that he can score with Sam. For proof, they need Ted to bring them her panties. While Jake and Carolyn are slow dancing, Jake sees Ted's interaction with Sam. He later asks Ted what he knows about her. Shocked that a senior is talking to him, Ted opens up a bit and boldly states that Ted hopes to take Sam home with him after the dance. Looking for some solace, Sam finds her way to the school's auto shop. Ted finds her and sees that she is still upset. She opens up to Ted, telling him how disappointed she was with her family for getting her birthday. Sam also confesses her love for Jake. Upon hearing this, Ted tells her that Jake had asked about her at the dance, and they agree that Sam should just go and talk to him. As she is leaving, Ted reveals the wager he made with his friends, so Sam agrees to let him borrow her panties. After Ted, Cliff, and Bryce have an impromptu peep show in the boys' bathroom to show off their panties, they head over to Jake's house for the dance's after party. Almost immediately, the trio find themselves in an awkward situation, knocking over a huge bear can pyramid. Disgusted by Carolyn's drunkenness and the mess she and her friends have made of his house, Jake heads to his bedroom to be alone and tracks down Sam's phone number after finding her picture in the school yearbook. He tries to call her, only to get tongue-tied when her grandparents answer instead. At night's end, Jake takes in the scene of his parents' trashed house. While cleaning up, Jake finds Ted trapped under a table, and they talk. Jake inquires further about Sam, and Ted explains the situation. Jake makes a deal with Ted: if Jake gets to return the panties to Sam, then Ted gets to drive a very drunk Carolyn home in Jake's father's Rolls Royce. Ted stops at Bryce and Cliff's house to get them to take a picture of him and the drunk prom queen. The next morning, Jake goes to Sam's house, only to have a hungover Donger miscommunicate that Sam was at church getting married. In the church parking lot, Jake finds Carolyn and Ted making out in the back of his dad's banged-up Rolls. With this turn of events, Jake and Carolyn mutually agree that it is time for them to break up and remain friends. Jake then drives to the church just in time to meet an incredulous Sam after her sister's wedding. The film concludes with Sam and Jake sharing a kiss over a birthday cake with 16 candles. Jake tells her to make a wish, but Sam says that her wish has already come true. The two kiss as the film fades to black. Alright. That's all the home video releases we got. So second, we will be doing Monkey Pictures and Roman Cow Productions and Donkey Teeth Company shorts. It is about Black Jaguar who never left the jungle before to eat tapir. Black Jaguar name is Blackie. Tapir name is Mosso. They get along together but Mosso was eaten by Blackie and joins other cubs for dinner. Alright. That's all the shorts we got. So third, we will be doing Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus. It was a continuing story of the hero saves my daughter and begin the battle of the demon lord but was wiped away, and so you can do S10 Plus videos you want. That's all I got for today. Let's do some work now.
Okay, it's time to do some work now.